what makes the underrepresented group, so this would be, for example, in women or ethnic minorities or religious minorities, what will make them feel more engaged and comfortable and even perform at a higher level, which of these two approaches? And what I'm going to say, one thing that will depend on is how numerically represented those groups are. So you can imagine a group that is 5% of an organization versus, for example, 40% of an organization. And what I'm going to argue, I'll show you some of our data, is that numerical difference has a very large effect. The difference between 5% and 40%, there are very different concerns that people have at 5 and 40%, okay? At 5%, you're sort of in a critical situation, okay? Your main psychological concern is, do I even belong here? Will people treat me like I fit in, like I'm an organization insider? I don't want people to tell me, I don't want people to say like, oh, like we care so much about differences and differences are important. In fact, that's actually counterproductive when you're 5%, because I'm walking around chronically concerned about the fact that I'm different from everyone else in the organization. So you can imagine being the only woman in a group at a conference room, or the only man in a conference room with all women, right? So I don't, a discussion about gender differences or something like this in this situation, I know that I'm different from everyone. I'm already chronically aware of it, just like a black person in a room of all white people is already aware that they stick out because of something different. So the way to address the key concern here of, do I even belong, do I fit in, is not by talking about differences and why they're so important. It's by taking attention away from that and making a case of how everyone here is here because they work hard, because they're smart, because they're qualified. We are looking beyond, irrespective of where you come from and what you look like, etc. People are here because of their qualifications, because of their hard work, and everyone here will get the same equal and fair access to opportunities for new positions, for advancement. That is, do you understand? It's a match between the concern and the approach. Now, white women, if we take 40%, at 40%, you're less concerned with do I fit in, just by definition, because you're already at 40%. It's not perfectly equal, but it's a lot closer than it was before. Now, the psychological, the concerns, the desire is, I want the organization to acknowledge the fact that we have different experiences in the workplace. So, being a woman or an Arab or a religious minority in an organization, that's just a different experience. It is a different experience than being a white man. And so when you have enough numbers to feel sort of safety to some degree, what you want from the culture, what we find, is them to say, yes, there are differences, and the differences are important for the following reasons. We need to bring together perspectives, backgrounds, experiences. We need to talk to not only white men in the marketplace, but women and the various religious and racial minorities out there. And so, again, at low numbers, you're concerned with belonging and fitting in. At higher numbers, you're primarily concerned with being valued and respected for the fact that you have different experiences. And for those different concerns, you need different strategic approaches to match those